get up.
The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Gotta get up.
Oh yeah! Welcome, Daphne Khoo.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How have you been?
I've been good. I missed you guys.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know. I don't see you if I don't come in at 6 a.m. in the morning.
This is true. You're welcome to come in at any time.
Exactly.
Oh, no,
to say hello.
That's okay. I heard the whole trailer of FD wanting to come in at 8 o'clock. I was like, I'm there. I'll be there at 8 o'clock.
When did you say you wanted to come in at 8 o'clock?
Can't remember when that trailer went up.
You really want to come in at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I think it was last week or something that he
Yeah,
said.
it
The
was
boss is
some-
listening. Wait, hold on.
He's checking his phone. No.
FD wants to come in at
Hey.
8 a.m.
Hey.
What does that mean?
From what I remember, FD is always here first, okay? So
This is
I
true.
don't
I
think
am
he
here
can say
ahead of everybody.
It's still the same.
I don't know why though.
He's
Habit.
here first.
It's habit,
Habit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You never tell yourself, oh, I could get an extra 10, 15 minutes because everyone else is going to be
Technically,
in.
I could get an extra
Yeah.
20 minutes, 25 minutes.
And so?
No, it's just habit.
That's all right. When you're early,
Just
you're
habit.
on time. When you're on time, you're already late.
late.
Is it
So-
because you have to wake up to pee many times?
Oh my gosh, Glenn, stop it.
Ong!
So the last pee will be like 4:15, and you go like, heck it, I'm just gonna.
I've
know
been
what?
up so many times already. So stay up.
A lot
Shut
of
up,
people.
Glenn.
Okay, so wait, before we go into the Kiss booth, I just want to say I had the worst big breakfast ever. So
Oh,
McDonald's,
no.
buck up.
Oh, no.
It's like, oh my God, your big breakfast is the worst thing in the world
It
now.
looked pathetic, though. I
I,
have to
I
say.
have always been a big fan of big breakfast.
Yeah.
Well, I
how
don't
come-
know how you guys can call the big breakfast a big breakfast now. It's disgraceful. Okay.
Where were your hotcakes? You just didn't want hotcakes?
No,
it just looked like a
I'm not.
burger in
I'm
there.
not quite a
So how is
hotcakes
it a big
person.
breakfast? I thought big breakfast came with hotcakes
No,
as
no,
well.
no.
Oh,
That's
no, they're
the
different.
big breakfast deluxe. You see, I
Oh.
still know my
Right.
stuff, but no, it's too many calories.
Yeah, that's true as
Anyway,
well.
I just took a few bites and I threw my big breakfast away. I just want to say.
Well, I fully enjoyed my double sausage.
see, that
was
Egg
good,
McMuffin.
wasn't it?
The
my
muffins are
goodness.
still
I
good.
had
The
one.
muffins
So
are
you know
still
what?
right.
Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Everything else is fine.
Hash
I've
browns
had,
are
like,
great.
Yeah.
But the
Hash
big
brown.
breakfast sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
Okay.
say this because I
Feedback,
paid for my own
feedback.
breakfast.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so that's some feedback. Just improve on the big breakfast or take it off the menu altogether.
Yeah, the muffins are still good.
Yeah, the muffins are very good.
Okay, so Kiss booth,
Right
the
after
Kiss
the-
booth.
Yes, the Kiss booth. I'm so excited. It's already out. We're in our third week. So it's a little bit hard for people to comprehend because it's a multimedia variety show, which is the first of its kind, where we just have many different medias, because short form is so popular now with Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all that. So basically, it's three parts of one at the interview. The second one is the popcorn challenge, which we call popcorn time, and then the third one is a showcase. So we wanted to do it like a lot of the showcases out there in the U.S. and the U.K. Where the singer comes in, you have just a regular mic. We don't have any producers come in and mess with the vocals. You get to hear their vocals and their story like in the rawest form. And for season 1, we wanted to focus on local talent, and also because our boss decided to make this thing happen like so quick. And it was amazing though. So it was a powerhouse woman kind of season, and we have one guy, but I was really impressed because I think my whole motive in getting into the music industry was because I was a little Asian girl that saw that no one else that I looked like me was singing English pop music, and now we have tons of them, which is so beautiful.
And where can people, because we've got to take a break, where can people go and catch the Kiss booth right now?
So I would just say go to Kiss 92 FM's Instagram. All the links are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's great.
Okay, we're going to go to the Big Show TV right now and, play you an excerpt
Yeah.
of what the Kiss booth
It's
is
a
all
little
about.
medley. It's a little
Yeah.
medley of the
Okay.
interviews. Yeah.
Meantime, here's Tate McRae with Excess on Kiss 92.
I'm sorry that you love me.
Yeah, we got a clip that's been put together of the various interviews that you've done.
Oh,
so
so
three
nice.
powerhouse women showcasing this one.
you had this massive moment with Crash Adams.
Yes.
You spat some incredible verses. You even did a few extra bonus content on your social media. I saw that.
Yes.
How quickly do you churn those out? Because you look like you just thought and went.
I think for those, in general, like the bonus content, if maybe I wrote it in half an hour because it's not a lot to write.
Yeah.
And it's catchy. So I think
But it's catchy and thoughtful, which goes into your whole thing about being mindful with your vocabulary.
Yes.
maybe
It's very
thank your mom for
important.
that.
Thank you. Shout out to my mom. But yeah, I mean because with their music as well, it's quite. I think I had a good idea of so their choruses maybe are a bit more sparse. So the verses need to be more full. So you've got to make it more wordy and stuff. So it has to be more.
You're on the verge of rapping right now.
Yeah, no,
What was it that you've taken control of in terms of your artistry and your look and your vibe?
Like, when I first started out, I really didn't know what I was doing. And it was just me trying out a lot of different styles. And I did I wouldn't say it's like K-pop training, but it was still very intense. Like, I had to take music theory, music classes. Like, my whole life was just surrounding school and music. That was the only two things. No time for friends. And then I did that for 4 years.
Wait, how old were you when this started?
14.
Okay,
Yeah.
crazy young, okay.
And then I was training for about 2 years, and then I finally came out with my first song. It's called Piece of Paper.
Your whole family is very, very accomplished and you're all very motivated.
Yeah.
I guess, is that part of the motivation or does it ever make you feel, I don't know, slightly hindered or do you get intimidated, I guess?
A bit of both of what you're trying to say. So definitely growing up with 4 brothers and being the only girl does have its perks, guys. So being the only girl, I was able to kind of
get away with stuff?
A little bit, like only certain things. But at the same time, my dad was very protective and all eyes are on me because I'm the only girl. So what am I going to do? What's my next move? That kind of thing. It felt like that.
Yeah.
And it also felt like, okay, I'm not doing football. So what can I do that kind of makes me kind of feel like I am also standing out within my family in a way. So when I was younger, I did go through different phases of finding out who I am and things like that.
Okay, fantastic. So if you want to watch the full interviews, they're about 10 minutes long. You can go to the audio YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/audiosg. So you'll see the full interviews with Shaza, Haven, as well as Iman Fandi.
Who is Haven?
So Haven
Tell me
is
more.
she's been on Kiss a couple of times just for her music, but she's I would say a TikToker and Instagram. She's a content creator, but she's an it's hard to put my finger on because I met her during COVID. Our distributor at the time decided to put a bunch of women together, Asian women together, to do this really beautiful song called Heal, and that's how I met her. And she was just starting out. She was with a different company, and then she's currently signed to Wild, which they mostly have
Influencers.
content creators and influencers, but she's always been dedicated to music, but she is really, really big on TikTok and Instagram. So she's got a huge following, and she comes to me for vocal classes every now and then.
Okay.
So I get to hear the songs before they come out, and it's good to see how hard these girls are working because they really are.
I think a lot of people in Singapore don't realize how much hard work is put in by local artists.
Right. Also because it doesn't occur to them that we don't have the same platform that a Taylor Swift would have, because we don't have a community or an industry in Singapore that's someone knows what to do. We know we have enough people, we have enough resources, we have enough money as a label. Not saying that the major labels here don't have that. There's just no method to making an act international.
Right.
So I think the way that it's been going is the music industry has been shifted by TikTok, and because she's so big on TikTok, I think it's given her a leg up in terms of her music, but that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle as well. There are some songs that don't do as well as she wants, that don't get the million streams, and that's now kind of almost a benchmark of I'm
really?
a decent artist.
A million streams?
I know it's
Wow.
crazy now, but it's not impossible anymore. I personally feel like Spotify is slowly becoming like an Instagram in a sense that you can buy time. In
really?
a way, not you can't make people listen. But if you get someone, or if there are bots and there are seeding platforms that if you pay them, the computers will continually
To
play
watch it,
you
yeah,
as an
to
artist.
listen, yeah.
And you know, it kind of messes up the game because you don't know how many people are actually listening to you. And the difference, there's also a difference in DSPs, so digital streaming platforms, some that are only paid for, like Tidal and Apple Music. If you have numbers from those, you know, DSPs, that means money, as an artist, money is coming into your bank account because people that
can't
are
buy.
listening are paying for their subscription.
Yeah.
Whereas for Spotify, there's a lot of free, free profiles that you can create, but that doesn't mean that someone gets paid because you have a million streams.
It's like a false promise, isn't it?
It is not.
It's very deceptive.
Each stream doesn't have this equal weight.
Yeah.
You know, and so it becomes very difficult to like justify or quantify how well you're doing.
But let's say even if Haneri gets 1 million streams,
Yeah.
how much would you make?
It depends on which platform.
Which are you
Okay.
talking about? Yeah.
And
Spotify.
I can't give you a number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Spotify, a
There are
million
different
streams could
tiers.
be. Yeah, there are different tiers. So there's different tiers of,
Okay, hang
you
on.
know, subscription as well.
Okay.
No hate.
I used to know that I used to know. I used to know somebody.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the TPE towards the SLE, look out at the Yio Chu Kang Road exit. An accident has been reported. Also on the ECP towards the city, a vehicle has broken down after the Still Road South exit. Please avoid lane 4. If you spot anything else, it's 8855 0920.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's a lovely Friday morning. TGIF, and our guest today is Daphne Khoo.
Hello.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning. Okay, I want to clarify something. So on the Big Show TV, we were talking about streaming, digital streaming platforms, DSPs, like Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal, and the like. But I want to say that because on the Big Show TV, I said that numbers on Spotify, they're easier to accumulate and harder to see where they're coming from. But Spotify knows this, and they try to support their artists by doing campaigns like Wrapped, which is coming up soon. Do you guys have definitely heard of Spotify Wrapped, right?
Oh, Wrapped, yeah, the
Wrapped,
year
yeah.
end. Yeah, yes.
So they do it on a listener point of view,
Yeah.
which means that, like, if you're a listener, what have you been listening to? And they also do it as Spotify for Artists Wrapped, which is what are your numbers? And this has given a lot of empowerment to artists to be like, this is how many times my song has been played. And so it's a bit of a give and take, you know. So
it's a little yearly study that they do basically for you.
Well, it's like a focus group.
Yeah.
With, you know, that you didn't have to. It's an audit you didn't have to pay
Yeah,
for.
yeah, it's a wrap up
Yeah.
of your year basically.
And you can choose to share it or not.
Who does the marketing, though? You know what I mean?
They have
Because
an
if you want-
entire team.
They're
They
huge,
have an
yeah.
entire
So do you
team.
do your own marketing as well? Do artists do their own marketing?
So Spotify has Spotify for Artists. It's a whole other, you know, I'm sure they have a whole building of people that work in that particular building. But they give all artists the tools to you know, because that's all you can do. You can't really, like, I don't think that they're at a place where they can help artists or have a
Train you,
division.
yeah.
But at one point, I think they were trying to sign artists. At one
Right.
point, yeah. So that's when you see an artist blow up or they get a lot of spotlight. I think those were kind of maybe the artists that Spotify was trying to, you know, spotlight.
Yeah, I was also asking Daphne because I'm sure you guys have been thinking about this as well. I mean, these days, right? I mean, is being a musician a legit way to make a living in terms of, like, we're talking about 1 million streams, for
Yeah.
example. You know, there are more and more artists these days on platforms like, you know, Spotify. And,
TikTok even.
yeah.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
if an artist has like 1 million streams, like I asked you earlier on, right? How much would that person make? You were telling me it's very hard to
It's
to
hard
say.
to gauge, yeah. Sometimes because let's say I'm a lo-fi hip hop like producer, and I make like beats that are very chill that cafes love to play. This was like, I think, a phenomenon that happened, I want to say last year. It's not my genre, so I'm not that well versed in the knowledge of it, but either last year or maybe a couple of years prior, it became all of them got millions and millions of streams because cafes everywhere all over the world would just play it on loop, you know?
yeah.
And they would let the ads play. That's
Right.
fine. But at least the music and the vibes
Was
were
flowing.
free. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was free. And you just need a Spotify account to do that,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah, but
that's-
how much average would an artist
Because
make?
I'm sure parents who are listening in right now, whose kids want to become,
Artists,
musicians
yeah.
one day, and they're talking about, streaming, and I just want a gauge,
A
because
ballpark.
much more than just an ego thing, right? Like I've
Yeah.
got 1 million streams or 2 million streams, but how much
Sometimes
does that
that's enough.
come up to, right?
Should we go on the Big Show TV and I'll tell you there?
No, not yet.
I can give you a gauge when we come back. Let me think about it.
Okay, cool. It's 8:20.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian Autumn.
I usually see the card, but I ignore it if I don't get the answer.
Oh, because
Yeah.
okay, the thing is,
Okay.
I'm not a distributor and I don't calculate. I only know my own. So like I have like almost 60 million streams, all encompassing like all the different DSPs together.
Right.
But I couldn't tell you. So like I think from what I remember or heard, and this number could be completely bogus, but 1 million streams should at least 10 to 20 grand.
Right.
1 million
on
streams.
Spotify.
Right.
On Spotify, yeah.
Yeah, isn't there an account that you
Because
can
you-
see where the money comes in
So
and then you know?
so the Spotify is a DSP. So
Yeah.
think of it as like a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
So you can get your drinks, you can get your songs or whatever from a 7-Eleven. But you still need, like if I'm Poca, you still need someone to distribute it to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So you need the middle guy. And so there are a few in Singapore. And there are a lot of independent ones. So like DistroKid is a very popular independent distributor.
So you can't go direct to Spotify.
No, you
Oh, you
cannot.
can't,
You
right.
need a distributor to sell it to
Got
put
it.
it in every store because there's too many 7-Elevens, there's too many DSPs.
Like an agent, but they're not an agent.
Yes, and
Right.
so every agent takes a different cut, and therefore it's very hard to calculate what one. So for me at the time, my distributor at the time, they took a percentage.
Yeah.
And if you're in an indie label or a distributor like DistroKid, where it's like you can do per song, you can do prescription, the cut that they take is different.
It would be interesting to know the numbers, though. You know what I mean? Because you
But
need to
it's
know how much
very-
you're
Which is why when
getting.
Snoop Dogg came up to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he really doesn't like the system.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
the
it was-
system is really broken in terms
Yeah.
of it was broken to begin with back in the day, but it was a little bit more manageable.
But it is the platform to be at.
Yeah.
Still, right?
What do you mean?
Spotify.
Spotify is one of the biggest ones. I think that they're a brilliant DSP because they've definitely empowered a lot of artists and a lot of numbers that we wouldn't typically see as an artist. Like if you're under a label, these are numbers that you would never get to look at. Or if you had a distributor, you would never see these numbers unless you look through. I can show you what an invoice looks like, and it's like 23 cents, 21 cents. One like 0.017
okay.
cents, but it depends on where it gets played. So if you really want to do the math, so radio is still the highest paying mechanical royalty that an artist can get.
Right.
It depends on where it's being played.
Yes, 100%.
So different countries will have different.
Correct.
Oh,
So
okay.
and because Spotify subscription, the cost is different in every country too.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to
So
calculate.
some countries are super cheap because of the sheer amount of people and the platform.
I
I would
think
think so. Because if you want to advertise, say, on YouTube versus Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, YouTube has the lowest pay per click.
Oh, really?
Do you know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah.
In terms of advertising and all that. So
Yeah.
I think maybe Spotify's like that as well. In maybe a place like China where there are 1 billion people, it might be less that you earn from, say, a Singapore.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know for sure,
And
but I
remembering
just
that your distributor is still taking over and above that.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, they're still
Ooh.
taking a cut. So
It's hard to keep track.
it's very hard, and that's also why for myself as an independent artist, I try to keep the masters. There's so in the music math, there's so much. Not only do you have to think about when you're making the song, who owns the song and who gets paid when the song gets played. Because I've been an independent artist my whole life. I know every single person I've hired. I know every single collaborator that I've made music with, and I want everyone to get paid. But I have over 100 songs out. So if I shared masters with more than I have now, I think I've made 3 songs out of 100 songs that I've made an exception to split the master, only because I would not have been able to make the song without them. But it's a headache lah. So at the end of every year, I got to go through the whole thing, and then if it's digital, it's great because I search for one song and then I add up the 0.1 cent, the 0.2 cent.
Well, that's why you hear of so many rifts between big artists and their managers and
But it's hard.
and their staff, because they lose track as well, and there's so many layers.
And it comes
of
down
people.
to money
Yeah, of
at
course.
some point.
Of course, always.
So
It
for
is
me,
money.
for me as the owner, and because I do all these other things on the side, and to answer your question, it's definitely possible to make music your full-time thing. To make your full-time thing being an artist in Singapore, personally, I feel like we're not there yet. But I think we're slowly getting there, because with the advancement of social media and how companies and brands will now pay or sponsor and help out. So let's say I don't have to have like a capital to get all my equipment if I can get a sponsor. You know, like if I do a lot of streaming, or if I do a lot of TikToks and Instagram posts and stuff, like, then maybe I don't have to, like, I'm not starting in the hole when I start, because all the equipment's already paid for. So that, you know, I mean, that brand stuff has always been around, but if you're
That
not
helps,
in the know and you don't, like, if you see on social media that people are sponsoring and have brands and stuff that are willing to do that, you can reach out to them if you have enough reach, and then you can get all your
some
equipment.
help.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get better equipment. Your show can improve. Your music can improve. You know,
Are you saying that every artist in Singapore needs a day job?
I'm saying that
Because it's hard to survive if you're not doing something else.
Yeah, I mean, in Singapore, there's pros and cons to everything, right? But the pro, I think, is a lot of people still live at home, so there's no rent. There's not that like money that has to come in every month, because you don't have to. Yeah, I mean, okay, some parents in Singapore, it's very rare that they charge rent, but like at some point in your life, I think you're going to want to at least chip in for utilities or what have you. And so I think that takes a lot of weight off of and it's not even just that you want to stay home with your parents, it's that rent in Singapore is impossible. You can't find an apartment for 500 a month. There's no way. You get like a toilet. Maybe.
You get a room. Not even
not even a room.
Rooms
Not
are
even
like
a room.
three
That's what I'm
times
saying.
that.
A toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go for a traffic update once again.
Baby, say the word and I'll be
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, on the TPE towards the SLE, at the exit of the SLE BKE, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also, on the AYE towards the MCE, a vehicle's broken down at the Tuas West entrance. Finally, on the TPE towards the SLE at the Yio Chu Kang Road exit, look out for an accident wherever you are today. Stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is the host of Eavesdropping.
And the
Weekdays,
Kiss Booth.
1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And she's also the host of a brand new podcast called The Kiss Booth.
That's right. Multimedia variety show.
Like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Before we get back to the interview, we have a very special Daphne fan listening who wants to say good morning to Daphne from Vienna in Austria.
Oh, good morning. Well, a good
Petros
evening.
Tangle.
Oh, who's the admirer?
But what time is it? It's probably
I
evening
have
over
no
there.
It's
idea,
probably
but he's
midnight or something.
Oh, wow. Well, thanks for
Europe.
staying up, Petros.
Petros is staying up.
Petros.
Okay.
Vienna.
So, how's things on Eavesdropping, Daphne?
They're fun. They're good. Like actually, the more I do it, it's been almost a year. The eavesdropping is almost a year old, which is crazy to me. But this place is starting to feel more and more like home. Like my first interview with y'all was like, You made me sing the Miley Cyrus Flowers
Flowers,
song.
that's right.
And I felt really nervous. And I mean, like, I still feel definitely a kind of way because you guys are all like giants in this industry, you know. But at the same time, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more at home in the studio now. And you know, and then I do this IG live every day at 1:00, and I write the afternoon snack, this little jingle, and you know, I have the same people come on, and it's like a little community. They all talk to each other too, and it's really cute. And I'm just so grateful that I get to do it every day.
That's nice.
Nice.
You
But
know,
yes.
the key is to feel comfortable
Yeah.
Yeah.
in your space while you're working.
I think so. And also to answer Angel's question from the Big Show TV, this is kind of, I would say, like my day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, but I'm still connected to music. So I
Of
think
course, yeah.
it's still, in fact, I think that's a big reason why I started the Kiss booth, you know, because it started with Music Monday. So I would think, oh, Monday blues, you know, going back to work on a Monday, but how can I liven this up a little bit and also get my point across, which is, hey, check out these local artists. And I had been, you know, since going on the radio, every time I'd go to a show, I'd hear all these amazing local musicians and like, how are they not on the radio? Because back in the day, we didn't all have the like as musicians, we didn't all have the equipment to make industry standard sounds or music. And these days, though, I feel like there's a lot of local artists that make music equal to The Weeknd. You know, it's just that they don't have the platform. And so for Music Mondays, I would try to bring in a new artist every Monday, and that kind of evolved into the Kiss booth. So it's still the interview segment that goes on audio, YouTube, and our podcast audio. It also airs on Music Monday. So that's like the first preview that anyone has of the Kiss booth, and then you can go and check out the videos after that.
Nice, nice.
So far there's been Shaza, there's Haven, Iman.
yeah.
So how many more guests are you expecting to
We have 4 more episodes, 4 more weeks, I guess.
Okay.
And then
Can you reveal who they are, or it's
no,
a surprise?
it's
You
a
can't.
surprise.
Oh, they've all been recorded already.
Everything's been recorded.
And
yes.
they're all local artists.
They're all local artists, yeah.
Oh,
But and a lot of them have gone international.
Oh, wow,
So,
okay.
yeah, it's exciting.
Ooh, the board says popcorn challenge on the Big Show TV next.
We've got Daphne Khoo's popcorn challenge. She'll tell us a little bit more on the Big Show TV. If you want to catch all the fun, well, just keep that screen open on your phone or, you know, on TV right now. Meantime, here's Beyonce with Naughty Girl on Kiss 92.
Lyrics on WhatsApp document. Okay. All these instructions.
Oh my goodness.
This is just gonna be Angel versus Daphne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean? No, 4 of us should play.
Can we play 4 of us?
Yeah. So everyone takes 1 word.
So there are no losers.
No, we have to collect. If we don't get it, then we all lose. It's a collective win game.
Oh, okay. I
Angel
like
wanted to,
that.
like, challenge
I know. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that you're not competitive, which I also laughed in the car.
See?
I'm not the only one.
I seem to have a
See?
reputation.
Who are you trying to kid, Angel?
But there's nothing
Okay.
wrong with being competitive.
Exactly.
You gotta have a little fire in the competition.
It's
That
got
is
me
true.
where I am today. So
I am competitive too. Very,
Oh,
very
now you want to
competitive.
jump on board.
Please,
Okay. See?
I'm more competitive
I said I'm
than you.
competitive. Now
Just that
you
you're
want
a
to be
girl,
competitive.
I gotta give in to you all the time.
Oh, please don't.
So
What
how's
did
your-
one
how's-
competitive person say to the other?
Yeah.
I'm not competitive at all.
Okay,
See, I
wait. So
keyed
let
in
me
the wrong-
let me explain.
So
okay.
there are colors here.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that Shalini did y'all a favor because when I did the challenge, I did
Yeah.
not give the artists any colors. I
Okay.
just gave them the lyrics and we had to figure it out.
Okay.
So it would be like, okay, I'm gonna point to the person who needs to say that word. Okay. So if Angel starts, it would be
Now?
like, now he's thinking
Thinking.
about.
So I'm pink. Okay. I'm pink.
Yes,
Oh.
That's
oh,
all
there
I'm
are 4
thinking
colors.
of.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, yeah.
I'm
wonderful.
pink. Okay.
So how? I
Okay.
am.
You
is
are
that
yellow.
pink or
You
is
are,
that
no,
brown?
you're
You are
green.
yellow.
You're green.
You're green.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman. I need to be first.
oh wow.
Okay.
See, nobody's
So-
nobody's competitive here.
Glenn,
Nobody's
Angel,
competitive.
Flying Dutchman. So I am brown.
You mean pink?
No, no.
That's
pink,
She,
pink,
she
pink.
starts first.
Oh, okay, then.
She starts first.
Oh,
then
I
you're
start
blue.
first?
You're
Glenn,
blue.
you're blue.
Okay,
I'm
Shalini,
green.
just tell us what's happening.
Okay, who's who?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be weird because it
Yeah.
wouldn't jump back.
I think Daphne can start first because she has to start the song.
And
Don't
then
think
which way?
must be-
Which way do you want it to
Okay,
go?
just call
Daphne,
it.
Daphne starts first.
and then,
And then
it has
clockwise or
it has to go
anti-clockwise?
in a circle, otherwise it gets confusing.
Clockwise.
Okay, so Daphne, me,
FD.
No.
Clockwise. FD. You
it's
can't
Glenn,
go first.
Angel, and the Flying Duck.
Okay, we'll start with
So
Glenn.
Thank you.
Glenn starts the song.
Oh
and
my
then we'll go.
god.
And then we'll go
Go
around.
clockwise,
Okay,
yes.
so pink, blue, yellow, green.
Green.
Okay.
Okay.
Just sheer
Happy,
chaos.
Glenn? Happy?
Very,
Okay,
of
good.
course.
Wow.
Okay.
Like a child. Okay.
Nothing's changed.
I just said that as y'all walked out.
Nothing's changed.
Sure, do you want to do a dry run, a cappella run?
Okay.
Okay, start. Go ahead.
From
You
this
know
song,
this
yeah?
song, right? Yeah.
Okay. Now,
He's
Thinking
About
me
every
night
oh,
is
it.
that
sweet.
I.
We're like this little. We're like the xylophone.
Exactly. We're supposed to go with the tune, you know. It's like, now he's. Okay. One more time. Okay. Now
He's
thinking.
About me.
Oh wait,
sorry.
I'm yellow.
Yellow,
You're
yeah,
green.
sorry.
You're green. One more time.
now
he's
Thinking
About
me
every
night
oh,
is
it.
that
sweet.
I.
Guess
so
You.
can't.
sleep.
Baby,
I.
No
That's
that
Me.
espresso.
yeah. We did it. Okay. With
That's
music.
the only part I know.
Oh no.
You guys like monotone now. What's wrong with you, Angel? And FD.
Hey, I
Okay,
can't sing. I admit it from the beginning.
Now
Are
we
we
do it with
recording?
music. Now we do it with music.
Oh, that's music.
Oh, that's
That was a dry run.
that's
Oh, I
music
thought it was
too.
supposed to be cold like that.
Oh, what's the challenge in that?
Wow, with the music it'll be
Okay,
even
okay,
better.
okay.
It'll
Yeah, let's
sound
go.
even better.
Exactly.
Don't know about
Now
Angel.
we'll be
though.
on.
Don't know about me. Never mind.
And
Angel.
FD.
Where's my ping pong ball?
Ping pong ball.
Does Glenn know when to start though? is
I
the
might
question.
taser here.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll find out.
Okay,
We'll
okay, I know how to start. Okay, come. Okay.
Okay, cue the music. Ready, Glenn?
Yep, always.
4, 3, 4, 3, 2.
Now.
Thinking. Wow. Angel, you missed it. One more time. Take two. Usually.
Angel can do a lot of things, just can't sing.
Oh, wow.
Even Kylie Minogue said, look, this girl is distracted on stage.
Didn't you
Ask her to sing back up. No, she's the most
No, actually, she
distracted.
was waving at the audience.
I didn't say it. Kylie Minogue said
It wasn't Kylie that said it. It was the reporter that said it.
Even better. He was watching you.
I was behind Kylie, so she couldn't see me.
Okay, one more
Okay,
time.
try again. Okay, ready? Angel, ready? Okay. And 3, 2, 1.
Now.
He's
Thinking
About
night.
oh,
Okay, can I just say something? Who chose this song? Can't choose an easier song, is it?
This is already easier. The other song she wanted to choose was even harder.
just because you
Why
missed
though?
one beat.
You don't talk much. I'm
no,
trying to help you here.
got
wow,
every- you
don't
got
say
every-
No, I'm just saying that
Children!
it's not an easy song. So when you have people who completely cannot do it, like Angel and FD, it becomes impossible.
May I just say, great content though.
absolutely.
You should have put in something like
slower.
what's that song?
What?
Almost Heaven, West Virginia.
Virginia.
Country roads.
Yeah, Country Roads. No, I'm
What
just,
do you mean?
you know
John
what I'm
Denver.
saying.
Oh Lord.
This is too hard for Angel and FD.
No, but
my
you know, on my
goodness.
show, I make them do it until we finish.
Okay, come.
I tell
No,
you what.
no, we don't have to. We,
No, I
think
tell,
we
do.
I tell you what. Since Glenn says it's too hard for 4 people, why not you and Glenn do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll try.
Okay.
Let's do
All
that.
right.
We'll
Good
try.
one.
That's we can just sit back.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So
All right,
every
we'll
other
try,
word,
we'll try.
Glenn.
Yeah, okay, we'll try.
We try.
Don't get confused with the
Okay.
colors.
Okay. Wait. Oh, yeah, okay.
Because if you know the song, just do every other word.
Yeah, I know the song, but Okay, here we go. Let's try.
Compate. Hey. And 3, 2, 1.
Now.
He's me.
Word number 3.
I'm like looking at the pink now. Okay, one
I've
time.
got to say that this is amazing
hard.
content,
Yeah.
but it's not easy to
It's
do.
really hard.
But you
Even
know
when
what?
you're down to 2 people.
It's very good for cognitive
Yeah.
Practice,
exercising.
yeah.
You know, it's really
Yeah.
really good.
Okay, it's down to 2 again. Sorry. Here we go.
He
Glenn's
wants
gonna
to
give
try
it another
again.
shot.
Yeah, one more time.
I'm proud of you. Okay, let's go. Don't look at the colors.
Okay, no more colors.
3, 2, 1.
Now,
He's
thinking
about
me
every
night
oh
is the.
sweet.
I guess
Yes.
so.
It's really hard. It's
But
really
you
hard.
you lasted the whole line.
We
so
got
that
a
was
whole
good,
line though. That was good.
Oh my goodness.
Not
It's really hard.
easy.
Can
Well
I
done.
tell you, the TikTok Haven, the TikTok, she's the TikToker.
Yeah.
She took the most takes.
No, did you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. It was a beautiful, like, in a way, really beautiful thing to see because it makes you remember that what you see online takes a lot of time.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
And she puts in that time. I personally would not put in that. I would do it for my show, but
Yeah.
for myself to just put on TikTok, no. But she does that. Like she spends 2 hours every day making content, and then I'm sure the rest of it having to edit and
Yeah,
post and stuff.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
it's a full-time
It's a job, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm starting to feel like TikTokers get paid better than musicians.
Well, it is. I mean,
Maybe, right?
These,
It's possible.
I think so because things like your YouTube and all that started it, and then it's
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram
and
as well.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch
Yeah, I know
still.
like Pokimane, she's one of like a really big Twitcher. She gets paid like
Twitcher.
Okay,
I
going
love
back
that.
on air, we're going to talk about the support for local artists here in Singapore.
All right.
Because I happen to feel like I don't think it's happening. Okay, here we go.
What if we just fall? What if we just
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the ECP, I beg your pardon, towards the city after the Still Road South exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on North Buona Vista Road, this is heading towards South Buona Vista Road after the AYE, a vehicle has broken down. Stay safe this Friday morning.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman. Our guest for this morning is Daphne Khoo.
Hello.
You can follow her at Haneri Miliona.
I'm really trying to change that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change my Instagram
It's
handle.
too hard for people.
Can you just be Haneri or can you just be Daphne
Yeah.
Khoo?
No, so apparently I'm very lucky that I got verified before they had the whole like pay for verification thing.
Yeah.
But apparently if you want to change your username as a verified account,
Uh-oh.
you need to lose the verification, change the account, and then hope that you get the verification.
Nah, you don't want to do
Or
that.
pay
Okay.
for the verification again.
Right,
And
okay.
I was like, I
Wow.
did not know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Petros came back to us. It's 2:00 in the morning.
Oh
there.
my
He's
God,
listening
go to
you.
6 hour
bed.
difference.
Petros, what do you like
Petros.
about Haneri?
Tell us, Petros.
Please say my music.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit before we let you go.
Yeah.
About support for local artists here in Singapore. Do you think it's better now than, let's say, 2 decades ago? Because I feel like 2
100%.
decades ago.
That's when I started 2 decades ago.
Right?
That sounds so sad. but yeah.
You look like you're 2 decades old. by the
Oh,
way.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I live my life like that, I think. Yeah, but I think it's definitely changed. If you think about 20 years ago, there was no music industry. The Esplanade was being built. Like, there was like Kallang Theater. That was,
Yeah, that
and
was
there
about
was
it.
there was this little building 20 years ago, this little building called Third Place, and it was, it was actually like meant for youths from a particular religion to gather, but it ended up being because they put a stage there. It ended up being like the only venue that musicians could go, local bands could go and play at. And because they were so supportive and they wanted youths to be there, they were very open to anyone being there. And that was the only stage that a lot of, locals would go to. There were two rehearsal spaces in Singapore, one in the east and one in the west, and everyone went to the same one. So you would meet other musicians there. And the only showcases that you could do were only if you were friends with musicians. And so there was no publicity, there was no awareness of local music. And at the time, I know I can understand why, because our equipment was very primitive. We didn't have Pro Tools. We didn't like in those big studios, like I worked at a really big recording studio in LA, like these big monstrous decks, or I don't know what they're called, I forget.
Boards.
Panels?
No, it's a I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a
Am
equal- yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
With all the buttons
Yeah,
and-
exactly. So no studio in Singapore had it, And most bands went to Leonard Susay, who was very much like, what's your rate? Oh, whatever you can pay, you know? And he is the kindest, mentor in the music industry for Singapore.
Leonard's been around for many years.
He's been around forever. And the thing is, he has always done it out of love. Like, I used to intern for Snakeweed, which is his studio, and there would be his books were all messed up because nobody paid. And he didn't chase anyone because he was like, it's so hard for them already. They paid for, they bought their guitar.
Sweet.
And you talk about support, I think Leonard held the music industry, the Singapore music industry, on his shoulders.
Yeah.
Because if not for that, no one would have been making music.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford it. They could maybe afford to buy the instrument, but that's it. Who would record you and who would make you sound good?
Yeah.
And I think he shouldered that for a long time. And sometimes you might have 5 local people that support you, but they don't buy your record. Or you can have one Leonard Susay, and have someone like that is actually helping you make the record. So I have a lot more to say about support in Singapore, but we're on our way. We're doing the best we can, I think.
Yeah. I think it's extremely competitive because it's so hard to please Singaporeans.
No, but
there's so many talented
we're competing with like
people out
Taylor
there.
Swift and Ariana Grande.
But I think it's also competitive because of social media platforms. That you get your TikTok singers and you get your Instagram performers.
But that
and stuff
gives
like that.
us a place internationally.
Yeah.
I
So
think the
that's-
biggest change you've seen in the last 20 years is 20 years ago, foreign was better than local. And local just couldn't breathe. But now, local at least is getting recognition from locals.
Yes, yeah, and that's
that
huge.
was not happening 20 years ago.
But I have a big reality check on that, and I'll talk
Really?
about it on the Big Show TV.
Okay, all right. Haley Steinfeld is next. This is Love Myself on KISS 92.
Y'all are here every day, so you can ignore the red card. I get anxiety. I'm like, we gotta go, I guess.
So what's the reality check?
But to your point, that is true, and to saying like that it's changed in the last 20 years is so true. We do have a lot more support, but the reality check is if you go around the world, what I've noticed in the different in music industries and support is the ratio of Singaporeans supporting local is like we are now at the same rate as a lot of other places in the world. Let's say that's like 1% of the population listens to local. I think we're there. It's just that number is not enough to support an artist's career. And that's just our population. And that's nothing to do with whether an artist is good or not. It's just where they're born. But in the same way that like if you're born in like a family that doesn't do a lot of math or speak English, then of course your English is going to suffer because you don't practice the English. And so it's one of those things where, we are doing our best, but we're still a very young country.
But the support's coming from the Gen Zers as well as the millennials, right?
I think Gen Zers.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or I would say Zillennials maybe, but millennials are like, I'm a millennial. I'm like, would you say on the beginning or the end of millennial?
It depends on how old you are.
I'm 87.
Oh, you're 87 years old? That's
No.
old.
Wow, that's old. You're older than I am. Wow.
But I'm looking
Man,
good.
you look good.
I was born at 87, 37.
Millennials age.
I think you're
I'm in the
towards the end.
Oh,
the
really?
millennials are 28 to 43. So
I'm
you're
smack in the
kind of
middle.
You're in the
Yeah,
middle.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would say like my generation is still not going to local, not if I go to a local show, everyone's younger than me, and that's fine because I identify as 25. So, so I'm everyone's age, but I don't see really anyone in their late 30s going to local shows or talking about local music. It's rare. It's rare. So let's say that we use that 1% as an average or as a median, like. People my age or millennials in general, I would say it's probably at like 0.1% that actually support local, that know what's happening in the local scene, that get involved. But that could just be a cultural thing where they just consume rather than, because the difference, I think, what I've observed is my parents' generation, they were surviving so that I had a future, so that I could choose my career. That was their goal, make enough money so that my kids can choose what they want to do.
I think that's like every parent's though. Like we were always talking about the different generations and all that. It's always a parent's goal to be able to
Provide.
provide and make sure that your kids live better than you did,
But
do
that's,
better than you
I mean,
did. you know?
here maybe, but like in general, living in the U.S., it's like no. I have worked hard for my life. My kid turned 16.
Yeah,
go figure.
of course.
Go
You're an
figure your
adult
life
and-
out.
yeah.
You know, but so there's pros and cons because like I'll always know that my mom's looking out for me, but at the same time, I had to fight for my freedom. You know, I had to fight for my voice, even though my parents were for that. They wanted me to have to do what I wanted to do. I still had to be like, yes, confirm blush shop. I want to do something different. Please let me, But because they're providing, they're like, you have to prove that you want this, rather than being like, I'm not gonna give you any capital, but you'll figure it out. Yeah. So it's different. It's different.
And I think your mindset is so different from other people.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I think it's because I'm very strong-headed and I knew what I wanted to do going up.
And you spend a lot of time outside the country as well, so
Yes.
that helps with
Yeah.
mindset as well.
Yeah.
You know-
I always think about that though, because I moved here in primary 2. I moved to Singapore in 95, primary 2. And how much of my 0 to 8 years old.
That's formative years, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely. Yeah,
you know.
But it's quite crazy to think that alone, before I even met other human beings really, or started my education properly, I had already formed what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Was that it? Like that made me so different from everyone else. That was like, I must be a lawyer, doctor, banker. Why did I want that other thing so badly?
Yeah.
You were born to be this way.
You were born to
I
do
think
this.
yeah. So, but is it nurture or nature? That's what I'm wondering. Is it because I spent time, elsewhere, or is it because that's just how I am? I'll never know.
A little bit of both, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go watch the kids booth.
Okay, we'll come up one last time after this song. Yeah.
Fifty.
But when did you when did you get interested in music?
Oh, from when I was born.
There you go.
My mom literally said, I sang before I could talk.
Yeah, see, she's a child that comes from nature, not nurture. That's why I
think so
believe you
too.
were born to do this.
I think so. I mean, I don't. Feel very compelled. You know what I mean? Like I feel, there's something about sitting down with my guitar and writing, or just playing music, or even just listening to music that heals me, and I can feel healed.
You don't come from a musical family, right? Do you?
No, well, my grandpa opened a record store in Singapore, and that's how he made.
But was he a
his-
musician?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't
so-
have no
Music
no
store,
one-
not Chua Ju Huat.
Yeah.
No,
Not Supreme Music.
no. He started a company called Swan Records.
Swan Records.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guangxia,
Guangxia.
Guangsen.
Wait, do you know where it was?
No.
I can probably look it up.
no.
Why didn't you start it up again?
A record store. Yeah.
But sell
I look at you,
instruments,
record
sell
store.
music instruments. You've got your what is it? Sweely, for
Yeah.
example, right?
Sweetie
They've got, like, so many
family
things
has a
there.
lot of money. I don't have a lot of money. I would. Sweetie, if you ever want to hold hands, let me know.
Why would they, right?
Oh my
Because they're very
goodness.
supportive.
You know it.
Yes.
Swan Records.
Yes, sir.
They went from vinyl to cassette
Who?
into consumer electronics.
Yes, they started Electric City.
Swan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my grandpa's company.
Oh.
Yeah.
See?
He did really well.
Swan Music. Is it?
Swan Records.
Swan Records. Tower Records. See?
Oh,
See what I mean?
You probably heard he had his own version of New Music Friday. It was called New Music Tuesday, where he sold 45s, and people would line up to buy it.
Ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his time, yeah. And his father was
I
like
can't find anything.
was an inventor. He would create washing, how to wash your vinyls. Like he would make the concoction.
The solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, there.
Thank
Red
you.
card. FD. FD always feels like just because he's looking at the guest, so you
Oh, he
cannot,
cannot see the red
the.
card.
Yeah, so
I've
that's-
actually spoken to a doctor about
that's
getting
an excuse.
eyeballs.
Okay, stand by. 16 seconds.
You're feeling stupid. It's all the way he makes me feel. The love is in a feel. Cupid is so dumb.
That was 50-50 featuring Sabrina Carpenter right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. And speaking of Sabrina Carpenter, if you want to catch our popcorn challenge, you can watch it on our Facebook page once again.
No spoilers.
It was a disaster.
Oh my goodness, yes.
That's because we're not singers, I think. You know, I mean, you had the popcorn challenge with Iman Fandi. You guys did so well.
We did well in the parts you see.
Yeah, exactly. So
We
as
also
a
it's
edited,
hard.
yeah.
it doesn't make it easier as a singer.
No, it doesn't. No, it
No.
doesn't. You
Yeah.
have to. It's that whole thing. The cognitive.
Yeah.
Now he's thinking about me
That's the
every
whole song,
night.
Glenn.
Oh, is that sweet?
You're
I
supposed
guess
to
so.
skip.
Just
Say
'cause you sing
can't
it like
sleep,
that doesn't-
baby. I know. That's
Espresso.
me. Espresso.
Maybe I should have you on the next season of the Kiss Booth.
As long as we don't sing the song.
He wants to do something like a Hotel California or something like that.
Okay.
Wonderful Tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Or maybe a Frankie Sinatra song.
Frankie.
Like
Yeah.
fly to moon.
Fly
me.
me to
The-
the moon.
See, it's so much easier.
And let me play.
You're not supposed to sing every word. Oh, now you're singing.
No, I didn't know you guys wanted to play with me.
We
Okay,
always
anyway,
want to
time.
play with
Wrap
you.
up. Wrap up on air because Jamit is waiting to read the news. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
Thanks
being
for coming
here,
in.
Thank you for coming
Daphne.
in.
We're gonna keep an eye on the Audio SG YouTube page because that's where all your podcasts will be loaded up for
The
the Kiss
interviews,
Booth, the
yeah.
interviews, and also you can find it on our Instagram page at Kiss92.
And Kiss's YouTube for the Popcorn Challenge and Showcase.
Yeah, and if you
okay.
want to follow Daphne, just her thing is very long.
Haneri Miliona.
Yeah,
Yes.
handle.
Haneri Miliona.
So if you're watching us on your device, screenshot this and then you can go back and have a look at it.
Thank you.
You'll be on today, right? On
Yes,
eavesdropping, of
I
course.
will.
Oh, you work so hard today.
I gotta run home and walk snow first, though.
Okay, good that you mentioned Snow. Snow is,
The
ladies and
cutest.
gentlemen,
Awesome
the
dog.
cutest and most obedient dog in the universe.
Yeah.
Please give her a
Completely.
big hug and a
I-
big kiss from me,
I
okay?
will.
All right, thank you so much, no, Daphne, no, Miliona, no, okay.
Cool.
Daphne, see ya.
Bye.